It's a little bag, but I got lots of new stuff. I kept my receipt. That way I could tell you how much it cost, because if I didn't keep my receipt, I would totally forget, and that would be that. But I ended up getting a bunch of Kat Von D stuff, and I have only ever used her eyeliner. It's like a pen. It's like a liquid eyeliner pen, and it's great. I love it, but it's the only thing that I've literally ever used of hers. So I got a bunch of new stuff to try. And Aiden, my son, is going to be my little helper over here. Some stuff, like, I always use the Anastasia clear brow gel. It's not a new product that I'm trying. It's just something that I needed to pick up again. And same thing with the Hoola bronzer. This is like my tried and true, like I love this stuff, but they had a limited edition, like jumbo version basically. And so I got it. So a couple of the things are not new, like new that I've never tried. They're just new. I just bought them yesterday. So let's see. I have been using the Photo Finish Primer Water. It's a set and refresh spray from Smashbox, and you can use this as a primer spray or a setting spray, and that's what I've been using. But you can see I'm like pretty much out of it. So I decided to get some new stuff. So let's see here. Okay, so I decided to try, this is from Huda Beauty. This is their Complexion Perfection. It's a pre-makeup base, so it's a makeup primer. I have already done I've already prepped my skin, like with my normal skincare routine. I use a calming serum because you can see I'm very fair, but I can get red right around my chin, around my nose, and then like right here on my cheeks. So I use a calming serum, and then I use my regular moisturizer. I am on the drier side, so I use a pretty heavy moisturizer. So let's see the directions. Apply dime-sized amount to the face using fingers or a dense brush. Can be used alone or as a pre-makeup base for a hydrating and skin smoothing effect. Which, hydrating is what I need. Always, all the time. And this was $35. And there's 1 fluid ounce, 1.01. That's not so bad, because, like, how much is in this? This is big. This is almost 4 fluid ounces. So it's kind of expensive for how much you get in there, but we'll see how well it works. You're crazy. Mwah. So it looks like this. It's a little pump, and this is like a squeezy bottle. It's like very runny. Hold on. Like, it's literally, that is not what I expected. It doesn't say I need to shake it first, but maybe I do. Okay. Now that's what it looks like. But can you see, like, it doesn't say to shake it first. It does have a smell. There is an aroma, but I don't know. It's not a bad smell. I just don't know what it is. Like, it doesn't bother me. I don't know what that smell is. Oh, goodness.
Mama?
You have my new stuff. It feels really good, though. It felt like a very, very thick moisturizer, basically. And it's not, it's a little bit sticky, which I actually like. Yeah, I like the feeling of this. I like when my primer's a little bit sticky because I feel like it really locks in the foundation. So it doesn't bother me. Okay, I'm back and I look a little bit crazy right now because I just did foundation and concealer, so I'm just like incredibly pale. What's new? So now I'm going to try the Kat Von D Lock-It Setting Powder. I have heard crazy good things about this. I actually went and I was thinking that I would try the Shade and Light palette, but honestly, I'm extremely limited with setting products that I can use because I'm so fair. I mean, I use the lightest shades in foundation and concealer, and it's not a bad thing. I really like my skin complexion, but it makes it really difficult for me to buy palettes because I'll use like one or two things and then the rest of it I won't be able to use at all. So I end up wasting a lot of it, and it just seems really silly. So I love translucent powders. Loose powders are actually my favorite. Right now I use the translucent powder, which is a loose powder from Aveda, and I actually really like it from Aveda, but because I'm so dry, sometimes it almost looks a little too powdery on my face. So I was looking for something almost a little more silky so it wouldn't look so powdery on my face. Especially like right now, I'm even more dry than I normally am, just the hormones. So I wanted to try something else, and when I was testing this out at Sephora, it seemed really silky. So this is what it looks like. $31, and there's 19 grams of product in here, so it's a pretty good deal. When you open it, this is what it looks like. There's like a little tape on it. Normally when there's those like little holes in there, I like to put the cap on and flip it upside down and give it a little shake, and then flip it back over and open it up. That way there's more product to use. Eventually I end up taking that out. So I'm just gonna go under. I like to use, this is a beauty blender, but any kind of damp beauty sponge. Not any kind, I'm pretty picky. But anyway, I am pretty particular. I just don't love the plastic thing on there, so I'll use it for a while, and then it ends up getting too hard for me to get the product out, and then I take it out. So far, it feels really good. I mean, it feels super light. So I get my beauty blender wet. Like, I squeeze it under the faucet like 20 times. I wring it out in a towel, and then I do my foundation and my concealer, and then I also use this for my powder. I just like the way that it looks the best. But normally, when I set my under eyes, I feel almost, I don't love the word cakey because it doesn't look cakey, but I can definitely feel that I'm putting powder on. And this, I really can't, which is nice. So I just pat this into my face. You can use a brush for this if you prefer. Because I'm so dry, this keeps a little more moisture in my skin, I feel like, and it looks more natural. And I set my whole face. I know some people just do their under eyes to keep the concealer from creasing, but I set my whole face. Under my eyes will crease, and then around my nose, my foundation will come off if I don't set it. The other thing with the Aveda powder, as much as I love it, there is a little bit of a tint to it. Even though it's technically translucent powder, it does have a little bit of a tint to it. So it's never bothered me, but it does make my foundation and concealer like look a little bit darker. As I am so dry right now, I can see like where I'm really dry under my eye right here, and on the side of my nose, I can see the powder kind of clinging on to those dry patches. But everywhere else, it looks a lot better on my skin than the Aveda one does. I think this one just looks a little more like skin. Next on the list is brows. Normally, I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Taupe. But I just decided to switch it up. I've used Anastasia forever. There was a couple of times that I briefly used NYX. I think it was NYX, maybe it was e.l.f., I don't remember, but pretty much always have used Anastasia on my brows. And I love it. I love their products. I'm really happy with their products, but it's been a long time since I've tried new stuff, so I just figured it's time. So this is the Kat Von D Super 24-Hour Brow Long Wear Pomade, and I do need something long wear. Like, I can't put something that's gonna come off, because I put it on, I get up at like 6:30 normally, and I'm out of the house by 8. This is on like work days. And then I don't get home until, it depends when I'm done at the salon, but I'm not usually home until earliest like 6:30. So I need it to last all day long. So this is in the shade Taupe. This is what it looks like. This is about the same size, and I just gave my old one to my son, but this is about the same size as the Anastasia one. This is 0.18 ounces, 5 grams. And this is what it looks like. This is in the shade Taupe, which is always the perfect shade for me. And this was $19. And I do have a smaller brow brush from Anastasia, but I like the smaller version of this new one that I bought. Kat Von D does have a brow brush, but it doesn't have a spoolie on the end. And I really, really love the spoolie, because I like to brush my brows out before. So this is the spoolie. And Kat Von D's does not have that. And I just like to simplify my routine. And if I don't have to have a separate spoolie brush, then that's easier for me. But I already have the smaller version of this one that I got a long time ago. So I just got the full size. I'm sorry about my mirror, but I get up close and personal with my brows. It's super soft, like I just very gently pressed in there. And I like soft, and you can see it on the brush. Oh yeah, super, super soft. I'm barely putting any pressure. I really like to start on the bottom just because it kind of carves out the shape for me. Some people like to start on the top. There's no right or wrong way. It's just whatever feels best for you. And as a reminder, I'm liking the idea of putting in some of these non-surrogacy related videos, just to like keep it interesting. And you know, there's only so much that happens day to day with my pregnancy or with my surrogacy journey. Like, not every single day is all about me being a surrogate. I have, you know, a family and a job and other stuff going on in my life besides just being pregnant. And I think it's a good reminder, because sometimes I think that can get lost. A lot of the time I feel like when I have been scrolling through like surrogacy groups on Facebook, like this doesn't go for everybody obviously, but some people just, they take it as like you're a surrogate, that's all you are, and that's like your only priority, like nothing else is going on, like you're pregnant, you're a surrogate, this is what you're doing right now, and that's it. And it absolutely should be you know, a high priority in your life. Carrying someone else's child is an extremely important and special thing, and there's no way to devalue that. But at the end of the day, life goes on, and you know, you can't just, you have to have other stuff in your life. So this color is perfect. It's so soft, it's almost a little hard for me to work with. Okay, so you can see like this is going crazy. I'm used to the Anastasia being like a little bit firmer, which is not good or bad. It's just, like I said, that's what I've been using for years and years and years. So, it's just going to be an adjustment using something so soft and creamy. I always go in with my concealer and like a flat definer brush and carve out my brows. These mistakes are pretty much just going to be erased away anyway. Those are the brows. I like them. They came out good. I like, obviously, a fuller brow. The color is perfect. I really like the product. It's just going to take me a while to get used to because I'm not used to having something so smooth. But that's okay. I can get used to it. Okay, so next, after I go in, I do the brow pomade. I carve them out with concealer and that flat definer brush that I showed you. Then I go in with a brow gel. This is a clear brow gel. It retails for $22. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hill brand. It's 7.85 milliliters or 0.26 fluid ounces. This is what it looks like. It completely, this is my old one, and like it completely wears off the Anastasia logo, but that's okay. It doesn't bother me. So this just like sets your brows basically. It's literally a clear brow gel. Like it's a gel for your eyebrows. It's exactly what it sounds like. So if you have like longer brow hairs, or if you have like very coarse hair, or maybe even curly brows, this is a really good product because it'll just keep it down and stay in place. They actually do have colored brow gels as well. So if you don't fill in your brows, but you wanted a little something, you could always do that too. Just a colored brow gel. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to bronzer. So like I said earlier in the video, this is the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit. This is my like normal go-to bronzer. I was going to try and do something different, but like I was telling you guys earlier, it's really difficult for me to find palettes to use, and that's kind of what I went in trying to find, and it's too hard to find a palette for my skin tone. You know, I think there is a big gap in the market for like the really deep skin tones, and you know, we all kind of hear about that. And this isn't like a woe is me. It's not anything I'm complaining about, but there is a little bit of a gap in the market for very, very, very fair skin tones as well. So this is the brush that it comes with. I don't typically use the brush that it comes with, but you know what? I'm just going to try it out today because I don't think that I've ever used it actually. But this is the Hoola Bronzer. This is the original shade. They do have the shade Caramel, and then they have a lighter shade as well now. But this is the original shade. I really, really like it. This is just like a limited edition size where it's a lot bigger. It retails for $44, I believe. Yeah, $44. So obviously more expensive than the smaller size, but a better deal than two of the smaller sizes. And I know that I like this bronzer and I'm gonna buy it anyways. And I really like how the Hoola Bronzer smells. So I'm gonna leave that how it is now. Usually once I go in with my blush, I lose some of my bronzer. So I don't like to go in and really lighten it up if I don't have to, just because I know once I go in with my blush, it's gonna kind of take away from my bronzer anyway. So I'm just doing like a little dip and then going in. I'm doing all the way up on my hairline. I don't have a very big forehead, so I don't bring the bronzer very far down. Otherwise, it's going to look like kind of small in like not the best way. If you feel like you have a larger forehead, you can bring that bronzer down. Basically, you go in and bronze anywhere that your face would naturally shadow. So in the hollows of your cheeks, you can do the sides of your nose, underneath your chin down here. This is all where your face would naturally have shadow fall. So that's where you want to go in with your bronzer. This is going to, because you're accentuating the hollows of like your cheeks, it's going to make you look slimmer. And same thing with like down in here. Helps with like the double chin action. I don't go in and contour my nose. I used to, but when I was young and doing competitive cheer, I broke my nose actually at a competition in Disneyland in LA. It was our national competition, like the very last one that you get to. And ever since then, like I actually really like my nose, but ever since then I have this bump right here, and it makes contouring my nose like pretty difficult. And I like the look of it when it's done, but it's so much work to have to do it, and I just don't have that patience, to be honest. So now I'm going to go in. I didn't get a new blush. I was thinking that I was going to because I was planning on getting a palette, but again, I did not get a palette. So I'm just going to go in with my normal blush, and then I'll be back for highlight. Okay, time for some highlight now. So as you guys can see, I really do like to use a good amount of bronzer and blush. Because I'm so fair, I like to give my face some color. Bless you, Aiden. You absolutely don't have to go as heavy-handed as I do. Placement would be the same. But I am trying out my first Laura Mercier product. I have always heard great things. I have been following a YouTuber named Jaclyn Hill since she started her YouTube channel. I think I was a sophomore or junior in high school, so like 2011-ish. This is the Face Illuminator highlighting powder. The shade is called Devotion. It comes in this. I like the compact, like it's nice and sleek looking. There is 0.3 ounces of product in here. Laura Mercier is a little bit on the expensive side. Yeah, this was actually the most expensive product. It was $45. When I open it, it has this little plastic over it. I mean, you guys, it's beautiful. It's hard to justify because it's $45 for 0.3 ounces of product. But look at how pretty that is. I'm super excited to use it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So pretty. It's very light, so it's not too dark on me. You can't, I don't think that the camera is picking too much up of it, but it does have like a little bit of like a pinky, almost purpley, like rosy undertone. I like a lot of highlight, so I go on the tops of my cheekbones, and then I go also like right on the apples of my cheeks, on top of my blush. I go on the tip of my nose here, Cupid's bow, and chin. Super pretty. I'm gonna just take it on my finger and touch my Cupid's bow there, just for more pigment right there. So highlight is obviously opposite of bronzer, contour. This is what you'll use anywhere you want to highlight your face. So if you like didn't love your nose, like the tip of your nose, some people use it on the bridge of their nose as well. If you didn't love your nose, you would not want to use highlighter on your nose. Bronzer kind of brings everything in. Highlight pops everything out. So that's something to keep in mind. But I really like it. It's super pretty and like very natural and glowy looking. It doesn't look, I mean, I like a highlight, but it doesn't look too like in your face. So now I didn't get any new eyeshadows or mascara, so I'm just gonna finish up my eyes before mascara. I'm gonna finish doing my eyeshadow and then I'll be back for my last new product. This is my normal everyday eyeshadow look. It's 3 eyeshadows. It's super, super easy and it takes literally like 2 minutes to do. So I am going to use my next new product and then I'll finish everything off with a little mascara. I got a new setting spray. This is from Kat Von D. This is the Lock It Makeup Setting Mist. And this was $27. And I don't know if I told you guys, I mentioned that I had used that Anastasia brush before and I have the smaller version of it, but that bigger version is $18 and I don't think I told you guys that. So let's see, directions. Shake well. After makeup application, close eyes and mist 10 to 12 inches from face. Do not inhale. Keep eyes closed when spraying. Okay. Perfect. Lock it down for 24-hour wear. Fade proof. Makeup weightless micro mist non-aerosol bottle. Non-aerosol bottles are better for the environment for those of you who do not know. So I previously really loved the Morphe setting spray, but it is in an aerosol bottle, and even though the mist was like literally perfect, I try to be conscious of what I'm using and that it's friendly for the environment. So I went ahead and shook it up nice and good. I'm just going to give it a couple. Oh, I like it. I like that spray. I just gave it a couple sprays so that I'm not like waiting when I'm using it on my face. I really like that mist. Like, it's a very fine mist. It feels really good. It does have an aroma. I don't really know what it, again, I don't know what it smells like, but it smells good. It's not super strong. And this is 4 fluid ounces, so it's a good size bottle. I like it. So I always like to do that before my mascara because if I like blinked or something, I don't want it to transfer. So I'm just going to finish off my mascara and then I'll be back. Okay, that was it. That was all of my new products. I just went ahead and did my mascara. I will just put a clear gloss on, but that's it. You making an appearance? All right, well, like I said, that was it, you guys. I am, let's see, what is today? Tuesday, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm 8 weeks and 4 days pregnant today with the surrogate baby. And I did just post the first ultrasound. I was 6 weeks and 6 days then, so I was a little behind on posting. I'm feeling really great. I'm getting a little sore in the chest area. I'm still nauseous every now and then, but that's kind of starting to lessen now. I did get a little bit of a hormonal headache last week, but I normally am not getting headaches. It was just one day. Trying to make sure I'm drinking enough water. And I think I am drinking enough water. I'm so dry. Just naturally I'm dry, but right now with, you know, being pregnant and then also still doing the hormones, I just feel extra dry. So I'm just trying to drink a lot of water. I am still doing all of my medications. I'm doing the micronized progesterone. I'm doing the aspirin. Taking my prenatals, of course. And then I am still doing the Del estrogen injections and the progesterone injections. The estrogen is still only twice a week. I was able to lower to 0.2 instead of 2.5. And I was also able to lower the progesterone, which I do every day, to 1/2. And that has been so helpful. And just like, even though I'm still doing the same amount of injections, Aiden is very fussy today. He's teething. Even though I am still doing the same amount of injections a day and per week, I am doing less of them. So it's really helping with the soreness and the knots and things like that. because they are intermuscular injections. They're in the glute muscle, but they're really higher up, like almost in your hip, really, and that's where it's like the most comfortable to do it. So my next ultrasound, it will be next week. So what's today? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'll be 9 weeks and 4 days because it's in a week from now. That will be my last ultrasound before I actually start care with an actual OB. And hopefully after this ultrasound next week, I am graduated from the fertility clinic. I'm hoping that I get to stop my injections soon. There's only been a couple of times that the injections have kind of like bugged me. When I was in Oregon for my transfer, I was just having a really hard time those couple of days, like doing the injections. I just really didn't want to do them, and I really wasn't feeling very good. And then I started not really liking doing the injections. Not that you ever like particularly like them, but I started really not loving them at the very like right around when I went for my ultrasound. So I was super happy. I think it was later that day or the next day. They told me that I could lower my dosages. I was like, that's honestly just what I needed, because I was just kind of feeling like, whoo, I've been doing these injections since, sometime the middle of August, I think. So I was just feeling like, okay, I was really ready to lower those dosages. So, everything is good. My husband does them like super quick and easy. Sometimes they're a little bit painful. Sometimes it's like, oh, that was a really good one. Sorry about the music. That's Aiden's toy. But everything is going really, really great. I have been seeing that most common, it's like between 10 and 12 weeks that you stop doing the injections. So we'll see when I get cleared to stop. Like I said, my ultrasound day will be 9 weeks and 4 days. So I don't know, maybe they'll have me finish out that week. I don't know. I'm not doing labs that day, so they're not testing my levels. I'm just doing the ultrasound, which is the first time I'm not doing blood work too. So I'm not sure when they'll have me stop doing that. But I do have one more ultrasound with the fertility clinic, and I did already schedule my first ultrasound with my OB. I just don't know when I'm technically going to be like graduated from the fertility clinic, where I'm no longer doing any meds or anything. So I'll keep you guys updated, and I'll be making a video for my last and final ultrasound with the fertility clinic and let you guys know how that goes. So I will see you next week. Bye.